Good Wednesday morning. This is the Ohio AgNet, broadcasting from the Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Veltima Fungicide, the proven #1 for the toughest corn diseases with long-lasting residual when you need to be confident your fungicide will perform. I'm Joel Norwood. Don't forget, starting tomorrow is the 26th Annual Crawford Antique Farm Machinery Show that runs through the 20th at the Crawford County Fairgrounds in Bucyrus. Visit the Crawford Antique Farm Machinery Association on Facebook to learn more, and a busy broadcast schedule ahead. Later today, our own Ty Higgins heads to the latest Feeding Farmers winner. Sponsored by Paradise Energy Solutions, Timpty Inc., and presented by Ag Revolution, disrupting traditional farm service by putting farmers first. They bring the dealership to you with mobile on-farm service for all brands, supported by Fendt and Massey Ferguson as your full-service agriculture partner. Then this Friday, Ohio AgNet's Dusty Sonnenberg travels to Van Wert County for a stop on the Field Leader Roadshow at the farm of Mike and Kendra Heffelfinger. Hear a first-hand soybean update from the field. And the Field Leader Roadshow is sponsored by the Ohio Soybean Council and Soybean Checkoff. And then next Monday, join us for the midday broadcast from the 2026 Ohio Farm Bureau Foundation Golf Outing at Pinnacle Golf Club in Grove City as we help to raise funds for foundation scholarships, grants, and programs that help enhance agricultural communities and support careers in agriculture. But let's get to your news, and your news feed is delivered to you by Ebert's Field Seeds, delivering proven local seed performance to Ohio farmers. It's time to start planting Ebert's. Call us at 937-473-2521 or visit online at ebertseeds.com. USDA's Farm Service Agency says they're accepting nominations for county committee elections nowadays. Producers interested in serving on local FSA committees have until August 3rd to submit nomination forms. Eligible candidates must participate or cooperate in a USDA program and live in an area up for election this year. FSA Administrator Bill Beam says local committees help shape how disaster, conservation, and commodity programs are delivered at the county level. Committee members serve 3-year terms, and producers can nominate themselves or others through their local FSA office. Online today at ohioagnet.com, details about the America 250 Agritourism Trail, where applications are now open for Ohio farms and agritourism destinations interested in being featured on the America 250 Ohio Agritourism Trail. It's a self-guided driving tour highlighting farm markets, wineries, orchards, and other agricultural attractions across the state during September and October as part of the nation's 250th anniversary celebration. If you participate, you'll receive statewide promotion, and applications are being accepted through the Ohio Farm Bureau. Elsewhere, a Seneca County farm family is sharing its experience transitioning to regenerative agriculture after years of focusing on soil health practices. Their operation now includes no-till, cover crops, and diverse rotations aimed at improving soil structure, reducing erosion, and boosting water infiltration. That's the latest story through Ohio Field Leader. And soybeans continue to be an important ingredient in dairy rations, providing protein, energy, and flexibility for nutritionists feeding high-producing cows. Researchers say newer high-oleic soybean varieties may offer additional benefits by supporting rumen function and milk components while lowering the risk of milk fat depression. Again, all that news and more at ohioagnet.com. Had a nice thunderstorm roll in through our area last night. Let's talk weather thanks to Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Here's Ryan.
Strong thunderstorms can pop up this afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at that Ohio Ag Weather Update. I think we make it through most of the day without much action here. Can see clouds increase in northwest Ohio as we move through this afternoon. Rain showers and thunderstorms start afternoon, early evening in west central and northwest parts of the state. The biggest threat of thunderstorms come after midnight, I think, through tomorrow morning and midday. Anywhere from 1.5 to 1.5 inches of rain across Ohio. 80% coverage is what I'm looking at right now. Best threat for strong to severe weather will be in west to central and southwestern parts of Ohio. The balance of Thursday afternoon, we start to clear out. Friday looks partly sunny and pleasant. Temperatures a bit below normal. The weekend looking the same. Saturday and Sunday, pretty doggone nice overall. Overnight Sunday night through Monday and early Tuesday, showers and thunderstorms are back. 1/2 to 1.5 inch rainfall totals there. Dry Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Rains back late next week. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Ryan. The Farm Science Review, always a special part of Ohio agriculture, and another piece of their puzzle is their Hall of Fame inductees every year. Our own Joe Everett has the story.
3 individuals with a combined legacy of more than 120 years of service to the Farm Science Review are being recognized as the newest members of the Farm Science Review Hall of Fame. The 2026 inductees are longtime agricultural broadcaster and promoter Gary Jackson, Farm Science Review exhibitor relations leader Doug Jennings, and Great Plains manufacturing representative John Seitz. The Hall of Fame recognizes those whose dedication and contributions have helped shape the success of the annual event hosted by the Ohio State University College of Food, Agricultural, and Environmental Sciences. The inductions come ahead of this year's Farm Science Review, scheduled for September 16th through the 18th at the Molly Cairn Agricultural Center near London. Farm Science Review annually attracts more than 100 visitors and features hundreds of exhibitors and educational programs. To learn more, you can find this full article today at ohioagnet.com. Reporting for the Ohio AgNet, I'm Joe Everett.
Thank you, Joe. Well, stay tuned to the Ohio AgNet. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, our own Allison Kinney talks about how to keep livestock cool in hot summer weather.
Ohio farmers, we know summer means long days in the field and plenty of work still to do. And the Ohio AgNet wants to bring lunch to your farm. The Feeding Farmers contest is back this summer, and we'll be choosing farms across Ohio for a visit from the Ohio AgNet, along with free lunch for your farm, family, and crew. Get entered today at ohioagnet.com/feeding farmers. Feeding Farmers is brought to you by Ag Revolution, Paradise Energy Solutions, Tempty, and the Ohio AgNet.
The way farmers get their information is expanding, and now there's a new dimension of farm news for the Buckeye State. Ohio AgNet TV. Learn from other farmers, see products and practices in action, and stay connected to what is happening both locally and nationally. Plus, watch expanded video coverage throughout the growing season and beyond, with regular updates from the field and stories that highlight the people, issues, and innovations driving Ohio agriculture. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe now on YouTube by searching Ohio AgNet TV, where Ohio agriculture comes to life.
It's getting warmer outside, and that means two things. Summer is here, and fair season is right around the corner for many. While longer days and rising temperatures can be great for getting animals ready, they also bring an increased risk that often goes overlooked: heat stress. From dehydration to serious health complications, overheating can quickly become dangerous if producers aren't prepared. To better help us understand the warning signs and how to keep animals safe during these warmer months, we're joined by Dr. Trent Reynolds, a veterinarian with Northside Animal Clinic, where he's been caring for animals since 2000. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi there, thank you.
So when we're talking about these hotter summer months and fair season approaching, what are some of your helpful tips and tricks for keeping livestock cool?
I guess probably the most important thing is plenty of fresh water. Shade is going to be super important. Breeze, air movement is going to help. If you got animals in a barn, fans would be great. Another thing that would be important is probably, if you look at them and keeping fans, air moving on them, plenty of shade. But I guess feed early morning, feed late evening, because when animals eat, they metabolize food. That's going to increase body heat internally also. So feeding early morning, late evening, they will do better. They will probably also eat more, because when they're hot, they don't want to eat.
And kind of going along with that, what are some of the signs of overheating and heat stress that people really should be watching for?
I think the first thing is, like a sheep or a goat, even a cow, is going to be panting. They're going to be breathing hard. That's going to be the biggest thing. You might see kind of red eyes. That's going to be something else that you're going to notice. But the heavy breathing, the panting, is going to be the first thing that you're going to see.
And if someone does notice these signs, how would you recommend they go about cooling that animal down? And at what point should they be concerned enough that they might want to call the veterinarian out to the farm?
I think the very first thing, if they think the animal is too hot, they need to get it to the shade. They need to get air movement on it, whether it's a fan or a breeze, whatever they can do to get air movement on it. And then ideally, I would say start to cool it. And by cooling it, we're going to want to run cool water over its legs and sometimes down its back, but really its legs, because there's lots of blood vessels in those legs. And if you can cool those legs down, that's going to help cool the animal. You specifically said, at what sign do I call the vet? It's probably going to be the animal that's down or really breathing hard. By the time the vet gets there, chances are you should have been doing that stuff. Otherwise, the animal might not be recoverable. Because ideally when you have an animal with heat stress, cooling it down is the most important thing. And so the cool water, the breeze, and the air is what you need to do. Typically, we don't recommend putting ice on them, just because it can cause vasoconstriction too much and keep the animal warm. The other thing that I would say is, like sheep, if they have a lot of wool, we don't want to wet them down on their back, because that'll actually work almost as an insulation and keep the humidity in there, and that'll cause the sheep to overheat. So you want to be careful with that. Something else to think about too for like your fair goats and your steers and those kind of things, I guess your fair goats, maybe clipping them, cutting their hair short so they don't have as much hair to keep them cool. Obviously your sheep, we share our llamas and alpacas to help with the heat and help keep them cool.
Great information, Trent. We really appreciate you taking the time to share your insight with us today. Hopefully this helps exhibitors feel a little more prepared as they head into summer and fair season. Thanks again for joining me.
All right. Thank you.
You're listening to the Ohio AgNet. U.S. corn export inspections slowed this past week, while soybean and wheat assessments moved higher. That's coming from the latest USDA data. They tell us 1.64 million metric tons of corn were inspected for export during the week ending June 11th, down from just over 2 million tons the previous week and slightly below the volume inspected during the same week last year. Soybean inspections moved to 522,687 metric tons, up about 100,000 tons during the week before and more than double the amount inspected during the same period last year. Wheat export inspections also edged higher. Despite the weekly decline, though, corn exports remain well ahead of last year's pace. Since the start of the marketing year, USDA has inspected 65.6 million metric tons of corn for overseas shipment, compared to 52.1 million tons during the same period a year ago. But soybean and wheat export inspections continue to trail year-ago levels. It's that kind of information that marketers keep a close eye on, and that's what we'll be talking a little bit more about coming up next on the Ohio AgNet as we talk what's driving markets and our overnight market recap. Stay tuned.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
If agriculture is your way of life, you need news you can count on. That's why Ohio farmers turn to Ohio's Country Journal, your source for the latest in crop updates, livestock insights, market trends, and the stories that celebrate country life across our state. Every issue keeps you informed, connected, and ready for what's next in Ohio agriculture. So don't miss a beat. Renew your subscription or sign up today at ocj.com/renew and grow with the publication built for Ohio farm families. That's ocj.com/renew.
Today's market analysis is brought to you by the Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky, Ohio. Learn more about marketing your soybeans with LDC at 574-566-2113. Here's Ryan.
Grain markets mixed to mostly higher for Tuesday. Corn had a mixed close. Beans up about 10 to 11. Wheat in Chicago up 5 to 6. Wheat in Kansas City was down 4 to 6. Wheat in Minneapolis down 3 to 5. Bean oil was down big, and bean meal was up. Crude oil down $3.50 to $4.50 a barrel, so it continues to fall off after it looks like and sounds like the Iran situation is slowly but surely coming under control. The biggest reason for the bump that we're hearing about yesterday, on the soybean side at least, was twofold. First of all, competitive prices. The U.S. now starting to be a little bit competitive versus its South American counterparts. And the other thing in here, good crush margins. That means processors are not going to miss beans due to any kind of margin concern. Not going to happen here right now. U.S.-China rumors were flying yesterday about buying new crop beans. I'm Ryan Martin.
And the market numbers mixed to higher overnight as we take a look at the latest from Chicago. The Board of Trade seeing July corn down 1/4 cent to $4.13.5 as December new crop corn is unchanged at $4.42.5, staying put. July soybeans 6 cents higher overnight to $11.36 per bushel. New crop soybeans gained 5 3/4 to $11.52 1/4. Wheat coming back after some nice gains on Tuesday. July down 1/2 cent to $5.95.5, while September wheat's up 1/2 cent to $6.04 3/4. Markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. June live cattle $4.68 to the plus side. 255.30 is how they closed on Tuesday. September feeder cattle up $5.75 to $365.28. Another fine day. Lean hogs for July down $1.78 to $94.80, and August lean hogs fell about 73 cents. And some positive news from the livestock arena. Iowa earlier this year detected their first outbreak of pseudo-rabies since 2004 in a commercial hog operation. Well, the latest round of testing has confirmed that it has been eradicated and the quarantine lifted there in Iowa. I'm Joel Penord. This is the Ohio AgNet.